brothers and sisters. With Samhain just around the corner, I wanted to return to the basics a bit and speak on the Blood Pact and its effects and why you should do it. I won't be covering the history of it. So if you're interested in working with the path working with Maergjirah, I want to first go over a few misconceptions. So quite a few people, namely apostates, state that taking it will vampirize you. This is not true. Christian attempted to say this piece of misinformation for 5.5 years, namely due to the fact Madrigal makes an appearance during the pact. He is a vampiric spirit specializing in vampiric apotheosis. The reason he appears during the Blood Pact is because he knows how to transmogrify the blood itself and the mixture you've concocted with the blood of the blighted and yourself. Should you see this, it's similar. I want you to compare it to when the JCI take their communion. It cast open a gate with the 13 Lords of Maergjirah. So they step forward and offer themselves as you have done, their same essence, their life energy. So from the moment you take this ritual in the first place, you are no longer bound to being a human being, but an entity in the flesh of man striving for godhood. You are inheriting 13 different infernal lineages within your blood. Upon completion of the Blood Pact, you are given certain gifts from the Spirit, certain privileges. The ones I received many years ago have been with me, working by my side. They were certain spirits similar to my Metet, my personal Loa. They are there to keep you on your path. They are there to guide you, protect you, and keep you in resonance. Or if you attempt to break the rules or chains and begin to attack others who are blessed, they will take what you are, what you have gained, and feed you back into the current, as in the case of the former AGM, Somnus Dreadwood or Eric Grawl. Nothing remains connecting to the spirit or the basic level of energy. Any form of channeling is gone. So they can be your saviors or they will be your destroyers should you start causing problems for everyone, especially those pacted. So the Blood Pact can be done with self-initiation. I've heard Christian and others say some dumb shit in the past in their previous videos that you have to go to Detroit with Eric or myself to get this done. This is not true. I myself had to self-initiate for years when I couldn't walk due to illness, and I had to do the Blood Pact by myself. Although it is significantly more powerful if an AGM initiates you. Your spirit initiates your spirit into the current. You're encouraged to perform the Blood Pact with others. This will yield more powerful results. There is another misconception that I remember, that you somehow lose your soul. This is bullshit. Although there are certain requirements, the spirits may ask for something small, such as opening a gateway or crafting a sinkhole. Remember, the end goal of Maergjirah is liberation and apotheosis, and spreading your domain and the domain of the tower you are striving to be a part of. You are an apex predator among demons. There is a hierarchy. Nature has always had its hierarchy. Nature is chaos. Nature has always had its conquerors at the top of the food chain. The primordial darkness is chaos, just as nature is chaos. Nature can be cruel. This is normal. You'll begin to think differently when the Blood Pact is completed and mastered. You'll change. You'll see it's good to see yourself as an entity finding its place throughout the planes, its purpose, just as animals do in the world. I hope this dispels the little myth that you'll lose your soul. One thing I will say is that you pay your dues with the spirits. It's likely to be in a form of offering, or they'll ask you to do something to help bridge the planes like they did me. Years ago, it was to open a gateway in Texas to further the goal of bridging the planes for the preservation of magic itself, to release into the world against many entities who seek to keep it limited, to keep magic limited and subjugated. It is a very simple requirement, but that is the end goal. It is to free sorcery. There's no world domination bullshit. And the current has been getting stronger due to the Maergjirah and Cabal's successes. There are many other hidden organizations that have allied themselves with us with this similar task in mind. Remember, you are joining a culture, a lineage of extraplanar beings. Every tower has its blessings. Every patron or patroness has its own path working to apotheosis. An Etherean or mortal ascended through the spirits of Maergjirah also assists in fulfilling the pact of bridging the planes. A few of you asked me privately before, how is that possible? It's possible throughout your ascent, you become a living tear in the veil. No matter what tower or who your patron or patroness is, you, in a sense, become the very embodiment of sorcery. This is one of the many reasons why you don't tell anyone what you become or are in the process of becoming. So, because this is the same reason you also wouldn't give out your true name, you'd give out a specific alias or your true seal. There are machinations in this place to come and subjugate what you are and all that you will become. See, this I would say Eric Grawl fell prey to this mistake by telling people what he became as well. The Blood Pact is your first step in this direction. All that you do on this path, every ritual you do, forges the being that you will become. I wanted to also correct this misinformation while it's in my head that you can't work with them if you haven't done the Maergjirah and Blood Pact. You can, but this is very dangerous because in the end goal, their plan is to bridge the planes itself. They will see it as, they will see it as sort of what the hell do they get out of it? They'll see modern magicians have forged this culture of laziness and lethargy where they consistently attempt shortcuts. They usually won't give information readily or can deceive you. If you think about it, if hundreds of people kept coming at you and asking you for free shit, you'd tell them no. They might give you a chant, instead of opening your sight and aligning you, it'll be something you don't particularly understand. It'll be a chant to where you are giving them your life or you're sacrificing yourself because you lack the commitment and will to commit to the Blood Pact itself, that they may see you as one of their kin. The whispers as well, if you're not pacted, extract payment, usually in the form of your life essence. This includes calling on their legionnaires or servitors. You may get sick or feel extremely fatigued and you don't get that energy back. I hope this helps you understand a little bit of the Maergjirah Pact. Remember, no matter what you face, keep going. If I had listened to detractors or idiots back when the Cabal was first concepted, I wouldn't have come this far. See the road through to the end. Don't be like these generic Western practitioners who will make pacts all throughout their fucking lives and don't take them seriously and get weaker with every pact they make. It's lazy, it's dangerous, and this little tradition of theirs is pushed by modern magicians. If I initiated you into Vudan and had you go through a Kanzo, you know damn well to take that pact seriously because you know the reputation of the Loa. Take the Blood Pact initiation with the spirits of Maergjirah just as seriously. When they tell you they can make you into a king or a queen, when they tell you they can turn your life around, it's the magical alchemy that's been at work on me for years. This turned my life from lead to gold, rising through poverty, sickness, and death. I set myself apart from the modern magicians by my relentless pursuit of ascent. No matter what anybody says or what they do, today I get to see the many fruits of my labor and have been enjoying them and just drowning myself in my work and my experiments. So before I end this, I wanted to explain the Transfiguration of the Black Soul as well. This is a ritual calling forth the spirit of the night, darkness itself, Belnara. This unravels and releases you from the constraints of the JCI or whatever religion you may have been brainwashed into believing. Fear, the fear mongering, your natural magic connection comes to the surface, a primordial darkness. It changes the mortal soul into an expression of will and ambition. You may notice your thoughts can make certain things happen if you think on it or focus on it hard enough. But you need to be careful because you need to hone your mind at this point. As you might have noticed, you have the power to manipulate your personal reality. Let's say you have low self-esteem and you come here and do this ritual and you think you're a piece of shit and your life starts falling apart. You're becoming fatigued, frustrated. Your will and thoughts cause even more harm to those around you. You have to change your style of thinking lest you punish yourself and those around you. So this ritual also marks you as an ally of the Maergjirah spirits, which can be called upon at will. Additionally, being empowered during the night, you'll find your rituals are way stronger during this time. This ritual, I would say, definitely should be performed as often as you can. To get this form of connection in the past, they usually would have you go and take a life. So it's been adapted for modern use. There are many blessings that come from performing the Transfiguration of the Black Soul, along with the wisdom they grant you afterwards. They place specific bits of wisdom that will only serve you within your soul. And while I'm thinking on it, I want to go over the Chains of the Abyss. To put it short, the Chains of the Abyss are rules that are spiritually woven into anyone or anything that employs Maergjirah magic, initiated or not. There are specific legions that begin taking from you should you break these. Any AGM can perform this ritual with the Blighted or the Elders in order to enforce new chains. This is something Eric should have done, but he didn't go through with it or didn't do it right. So there are some specific changes that were added over the years by him, but this ritual had not been performed, which have been omitted. If you've read the website, the Chains of the Abyss are not as they sound. They aren't restrictive, as our detractors make them seem. Each has their purpose. So this is so we're not behaving like stereotypical demons, falling to ego, pride, infighting. After all, a house divided cannot stand. If you look at other pantheons of infernals or demonic houses, each constantly attempting to overthrow one another or taking each other's domain, we at Maergjirah acknowledge what we have become in our respective towers. This is why we can coexist. For example, if you become an Abyssian, you may have the desire to devour or fight with everyone, or a lich seeking the knowledge of others. These chains are in place to ensure the safety among each other and to protect people from themselves in the early stages of ascendancy. As you grow in power, there are more rules you have to follow as well. As your power grows, more eyes will be on you. So you have to think strategically about everything you're doing. For example, I had been investing in stocks for a long time. And what I was doing was actually causing rival companies to lose business and money. So what I had invested in would flourish. It worked out for the better, but it wasn't until I was approached by other infernal sorcerers that I found out I was invading their territory because I was powerful enough to be noticed. The elders made this known to me as well since I was initiated by them. There's a power change. A simple shock wave throughout the planar fabric can be noticed by others. You can't just release an onslaught of, curses and shit like you did before, especially with people in the public eye, due to that change in power. Sorcerers have done this, and have turned up missing in this world. So you'll know exactly what demon or sorcerer owns what country, or what sorcerers are behind the scenes affecting everything. Their sorcery, you have to be careful, not to tread on another Infernal's territory. But that's just an example. Now, breaking these chains will cause the spirits to release the fiends of apostasy. With these specific demons, they will simply drain you of your ability to communicate with spirits, drain you of your energy, leaving only delusions. They can rip the very aspect of magic from you. The Maergjirah spirits will then feed whatever you are into the current and leave you to your own delusions for the rest of your life. Please take in mind, these can be enforced by Tower Masters, myself, and a few other black adepts. Remember, this is a black lodge, should you choose to learn here. This isn't just some Facebook group. So I hope this has helped you learn about a deeper explanation of these rituals, what they do specifically. And I look forward to hearing your results from the upcoming Samhain. Thank you all for listening, and infernal blessings to you all, and be safe out there with everything that's going on in the world.